Well, I'm not sure where it goes, but it can go somewhere, right? Hello and welcome back to the Bikepacking Dad's YouTube channel. Something a little bit different today. A couple of weeks ago, a friend and I, Sonny, if you're watching it, hello. We went on a overnight bikepacking trip to a local bothy. How would you explain what a bothy is to those who don't know? It's an outhouse in the middle of nowhere that gives a little bit of shelter to silly bikepackers and backpackers who go out in stupid weather. So yeah, however, when we turned up after the day we had on the bikes, it looked like a 5-star hotel because it was brutal out there. But I'll not go into all the details here. I've got loads of pictures, plenty of videos I took on the way just to document how stupid my route planning was. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy our little story of the adventure we had, because it was definitely that. It was an adventure on our bikes with a good friend who, without, I think I probably would have turned back or camped a lot closer to home. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Without further ado, I've got pictures, videos. I'm going to interrupt you in the middle to try and direct you to certain websites and Instagrams, but standard practice, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So it was about 10:30 by the time I was fully kitted up and ready to go. As you can see, the bike is nice and clean. My trio of Ortlieb bags is well packed, and I've got the old flip-flops there with the water filter strapped to the top. Gloves were a must. The sunglasses were not, because the sun did not pop out, but yeah, as you can see, not much sun going on there, and the rain had started. If you look at the bike, you can see the drops, and that lovely looking hill in the distance. I was gonna catch up to that and peel all the way around to the right, and those grey clouds above me followed me the entire way. So yeah, that was good, but it didn't stop me from taking a few little pictures of the bike along the way, because it's what we do, right? There's a nice one here, and there's this lovely one on the bridge, the nice autumn colours in the background, and I was still enjoying it. Just after this bridge, I took I think it was my first video of the day. The rain had stopped briefly, and I thought now would be a great time to document what was going on. So let's take a quick look. Well, the rain stopped, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. I should probably stop and fill my water bottles up. That's a good shout. But yeah, it's not too cold. It's quite nice actually. So yeah, about 50 k's to go. Let's hope it stays like this. So just after that video, I started climbing uphill and came across this bridge that was coated in moss. So I did what every bikepacker does, propped my bike up and took another picture. But then I dragged myself up the hill in a very easy gear, because the rain and wind was battering me from all sides, and that is definitely an understatement. I took a nice little picture at the top here. If you look carefully, you'll see that the cows as blurs in the background, and then we arrived at Aylmore. It's either a lock or reservoir, I'm not really sure, but it was at this point the weather started setting in, and yeah, check it out. Going pretty well. Weather's pretty miserable, as you can see, and it's definitely getting a little bit cold now. However, the rain cape holding up well, and I think the waterproof socks are holding strong. As you can see, my face is weather beaten. Definitely didn't have these wrinkles before I came out. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. But yeah, it's going all right. So it got a lot worse really quickly. It's a good old headwind, which is throwing rain in my face. Cattle grid. It's still nice being in the middle of nowhere though, I think. Views are still okay, but it's starting to get a bit cold. Oh well. And then we hit probably one of my favourite parts of the ride. I ended up on this gravel track. Yes, it climbed uphill for quite a while, but it was relatively smooth. There was this misty fog sitting on the trees, which you can see there in the top right. I didn't see another person for miles, which was great, and there was an extremely strong wind right on my back. So the weather was actually helping me out for a change, so much so I managed to bust a smile out. Check it. But yeah, you can hear the wind here. We've hit the gravel, but that wind is pushing me along nicely, so that's good. It's quite nice out here actually. I don't know if you can see too much of it, but yeah, not too shabby. This is where the views started getting pretty ridiculous. No matter what the weather was doing, it didn't matter at this point because I was honestly out there completely on my own on a track that pretty much only sheep use. As you can see from this picture right here, the track was very muddy, very slippy and very wet. Could I have done with chunkier tyres? Yes, but you just got to make do with what you've got, I guess. I started dropping down out of the gravel track towards St Mary's Lock, and this was where my route planning had gone awry, shall we say, and I started getting into a little bit of bother, but we'll see now.
Get a look at this place. Like, yeah, the weather might be bad and I'm pretty sure I've got no toes left, but it's pretty spectacular. About to make some friends right here. Hi, Dave. Okay, just ignore me then. Well, that was awkward. So as beautiful as this place is, I may have made a terrible mistake because, let me try and point, that might be my road and that goes uphill a long way. But I'm having a great time.
So this was the start of my troubles, shall we say. I got tested. I got really tested going up here, and it went up for a very long way. I still had time for this photo on this old wooden bridge though, which was nice. And if you look at this picture, if you actually look, you can see a little white house down at the kind of bottom, well, kind of top right of the picture. That's where the last video started. So yeah, we're on the way up.
So it turns out that road I pointed at was the road, which is too steep for even my legs, and it keeps going up, so yeah, yay.
And it kept going up. It went so far up, in fact, I climbed into a cloud. And it turns out, strangely enough, clouds are really wet. So I took the opportunity to take this picture with my unimpressed face, and then I took a little video so I could document how stupid I had been. So my route planning was pretty poor, I guess, because I've just had to push my bike. Well, not this bit, I managed to ride this bit, but there was a couple of kilometers back there that was extremely steep. So, but you can tell how steep it was because I'm now in a cloud. So I was hoping to be meeting up with Sunny right now, 4 o'clock. Probably still got another hour, at least. So here's the pie story. Sunny was coming from a different direction. He had stopped for a pie, and I was in a cloud questioning what the hell I was doing, not eating a pie. So yeah, the struggle was real at this point, but I took this video. It's actually relatively amusing, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm still in the cloud, not eating a pie. Look at this. Look! And it gets better. I've got to go up there.
Okay, so it's at the point where I was dropping downhill and then I've started going uphill again. I'm currently pushing because I'm knackered. It's got to the stage where I am talking, well, to the camera for one, which I get away with, I guess. But I may also be talking to the sheep, which I'm currently herding up that hill, if you can see them. I started over there somewhere. And you know, if I don't make it and someone finds this, it was all my own fault. So, yeah. It's really wet. I've dropped out of the cloud though, bonus. And I'm currently getting through this by convincing myself that one day I'm going to look back on this and tell myself I had a great time. I've herded those sheep for about a kilometre, but they seem safe and settled right now. So yeah, yay.
It's only me. I'm just going to jump in right here and try and direct you to the website and the blog. Have a quick look. Loads of stuff on there. I'm not going to go into detail. There's also an Instagram, which hopefully you can see along with the website up there. I will put the links down in the description. If you get just 2 minutes, go and click on them, pop a little follow. If you subscribe to the blog, you'll get a newsletter. It basically comes out every time I put something new up. And as for the YouTube video, if you are enjoying it, please click the like button. If you've got any questions, then put a comment and subscribe to the channel because it all helps. If you've got any feedback on what you think I could do better, then let me know. I'm new to it all, so any feedback is great. Right, without further ado, let's get back to what we were doing.
Right, we're about 10 kilometres from the final destination. I won't go on about how cold and wet I am, but it's been a hell of an adventure, I'll say that. There's actually a reservoir here, which is quite nice if you can see it. But anyway, last push now. So I might be cold and wet and have lost all of my toes, but look at this place. Get ready for the view. Let's get up this hill. Come on, legs. You ready for it? Look at that.
So these few pictures here are me on the final approach. I was feeling pretty happy with myself. I'd made it over and down the other side of the cloud hill, as we shall call it. And as I had been here before, I knew this view was going to be brilliant. Look at that. This is Talla Reservoir from the top. It's just magical up there, it really is. Beautiful little picture, bike held up well, took the obligatory selfie, but I had more riding to do because we had to go and find Sonny.
Okay, I've passed where we need to be. I'm just going to go and try and find Sonny because I think he's struggling a bit, but the weather has been brutal.
But it didn't take me long. It only took me about, I want to say, 4 or 5 kilometers, something like that, to bump into him. And to say we were happy to see each other is an understatement because it had been a long day. But as you can see, the extra riding and the weather had held us up and it was getting dark, but beautiful all at the same time. We caught this little waterfall on the way up to the Bothy as we pushed our bikes because the wind was like a wall. But yeah, it looked pretty good. So after watching that, you don't need me to tell you how much rain and how much wind there was. This is a fetching image of me in some bib tights pushing my bike. But we made it. This is my bike in the Bothy, out of the rain, out of the wind. The wooden slat there on the top right was going to be my bed, and it doesn't look much there, but I was pretty grateful to be climbing on top of it. Sonny's bike is beautiful. He's just done a custom build Pipe Dream Alice in a disgustingly beautiful colour of green, and I'm not jealous of it at all. However, the next picture is a bit embarrassing because all of my gloves' reflective material rubbed off during the day, and as I rubbed my neck and face, I turned into an extra from the Twilight films. The morning after the night before. The Bothy had kept us dry. It hadn't been especially warm, but I hadn't had the worst night's sleep either. We'd packed up, had a bit of breakfast. There was some backpackers that joined us the evening before, about 9 p.m, and one of them took this photo of us, which we're very grateful for. So whoever took that, if you are watching this, thanks very much. However, Day two's adventure had just begun, and it was about to begin with a very fresh paddle through a river that was deeper than it usually was thanks to all the rain. But take a look yourself.
Ready? Born ready. This is peak performance. Peak. Woo!
So I snapped a little picture of the Bothy from the other side of the river. It had done a good job the night before of keeping us dry, and what a special place to wake up. We were in the middle of nowhere in a valley. We'd not been able to see any of it the night before because the weather had been horrific and all we wanted to do was get inside. But as we dropped back down the valley towards the reservoir, the views were something else, and I think this is one of my favourite pictures of the whole trip. Nothing to do with Sonny's backside, so sorry Sonny mate, but that view down through the valley there as it twisted and turned is pretty magic. However, the weather changed.
So it's day two. It's the morning, obviously, and the weather has not eased up. Decent night's kip in the Bothy though. Nice bit of breakfast. I actually managed to cycle up the wall of Talla to this point, and Sonny is on his way. But yeah, not bad views. Just a little bit to go. But yeah, it's gonna be another good day, and we're gonna get soaked.
We'd only done a very short distance when the weather changed, but the views were still pretty special. And I would say if you live in Scotland and haven't been to Talla, spelt Talla, Google it and get a trip planned.
Well, we're getting tested today, and I've only done 2 miles. It's sunny. It's a bit breezy, right?
No such thing as bad weather. Just
No.
bad kit, eh?
Just bad kit. Look at the state of this. Oh well, let's go.
So this here is the last picture I took before pretty much getting on the home stretch. Sonny was about to peel off in his own direction to get home, and I was going to do 20 miles on my own, but this here is Meg at Reservoir, just along the road, and yeah, the views are great. Shame about all the fog though.
So, nearly back home. Sonny has peeled off to head home, and I've got dirt on my nose. The sun came out for the first, well, it's up there somewhere, for the first time in 2 days, so it's been quite the trip. Look at the state of my eyes. Ugh.
So there we have it. It was an adventure, all right. We got wet, we got cold. I thought I got lost at one point, but I didn't. I wish I'd taken more food with me, but it was great. We were out there on our bikes, supporting ourselves. We had all the right kit to battle even the worst of weather. There were some beautiful views, no one else around apart from the sheep. Yeah, it was a great time. At the time, it was ridiculously challenging, and I did question my life choices. But, and as weird and cheesy as it may sound, knowing that I had to get there to find Sonny because we'd arranged to meet and we had no phone signal, it was kind of a little bit of drive. I was like, no, I can't just turn around and go home because someone else is kind of expecting me to be there, so I can't let him down. So it was a good little, it was a push to get there. I could have easily bailed on my own and put the tent up somewhere and just camped wherever and gone home in the morning, but having that plan in place probably made me finish it a little bit stronger than I would have if I was on my own, to be fair. So, Sonny, if you're watching this, cheers for continuing out in the terrible weather, and thanks for the smoked sausage. Anyway, I guess the moral of this whole Bothy bikepacking story is that you don't have to go too far from your own house to find an adventure or be out in the middle of nowhere. I know that where I live, I'm quite lucky. We can get out into the sticks pretty quickly. But have a look on the map. Get on Komoot. Check out these websites where people have put up their adventures and different routes. It doesn't matter if somebody has ridden that route before you. You're still going to go out there and be pretty much on your own and have to support yourself. Take inspiration from things you've seen. You don't always have to be the first person to have ridden over the top of that mountain or climbed over that wall or waded through that river. It's still going to be a new adventure for you. So just get out there, give it a go. If you can find some friends to do it with, definitely do that, because it's going to give you that little push you need. And having someone to ride with when it's tipping down with rain and you're freezing and they've got sweets in their back pocket is definitely a bonus. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed our little story of our overnight stay. And yeah, if you have, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it all. And there's some links to the website and the Instagram down below. So cheers for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Thanks.